You notice I haven't
I
said
can tell
anything
you
yet.
put on a little bit of weight. What? What were you saying?
You haven't been here for a while.
No, it's been a good.
I'm trying
to.
This live video should start soon, is what mine says.
Oh, yours isn't started yet.
No,
Are we talking to nobody?
We might be talking to nobody.
Did everybody miss my joke?
I think. Well,
Oh, that's a
they're
sad
not
joke.
missing much.
They're true. The humor is not very there. Trevor says we're live on YouTube.
Well,
Hello, YouTube. We care about
We
you.
do. We were just discussing how we love YouTube, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I've got nothing.
I got nothing either.
I got nothing. But we're looking into it.
Don't worry, YouTube. We still believe that you are people. And we're glad that you're here, all two of you. Our Facebook feed kind of glitched. So Brad and I are going to play virtual horse. Have you ever played horse before?
You mean basketball horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
so
do you-
there's the basketball
How
hoop.
do you play?
Well, you just got to think it. Okay, so there's the basketball hoop. All right,
This isn't even making
match
sense to
this
me.
shot that I'm doing in my head, okay?
Okay.
Swish. All right, your turn. Don't you dare do this.
I'm glad you stopped me.
Did you
Because I was about
see-
to make a fool of myself.
Did you see that the NBA, though, did the horse tournament last week?
No, did they?
So they got, it was like 5 or 6 players, 3 current players, and then 3 from the past.
Uh-huh.
And they did a NBA horse tournament. It
Really?
was really fun, yeah. You said we are live, Trevor. I think we're live now, Facebook. YouTube's been live for a couple minutes.
And they're wondering why Facebook hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah, they're wondering why. Yep, we are live.
Really? Looky there. live.
Everyone, welcome to Crossbridge Community Church live edition.
Start
If you were
watch
here a
party.
few minutes ago, we were the unlive edition.
Wow. I'm exhausted already, and we just got started.
You're exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You haven't been here for quite a while.
No, I haven't. It's
We
been 3
were off
weeks.
last week because of Holy Week.
Yeah. Oh, rookie mistake.
Oh, rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were off last week because of Holy
And then
Week.
you decided you had to take your birthday off.
I did. You know what I was watching during my birthday day?
What?
So first we got the 10 for 10 Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket deal that you told me about the week before.
That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
And then we
10 for
watched the
10.
Harry Potter movies that you were not a fan of.
I'm not a fan of Harry Potter.
How many movies did you make it
Hey,
through, Brad?
2 1/3.
2 1/3.
I got a lot of hate mail for that one.
Yes,
I'll
you
probably get
did.
some more here. So
Hey, so if you are tuning in with us on Facebook or YouTube, we want to give you, our viewers, a question before Brad asks me
yeah,
the brain
I forgot
teaser.
about that. But go ahead.
And so this question, we know that there's so much going on right now in your lives. Maybe you're bored out of your mind. Maybe there's a lot of fear, anxiety. Maybe there's some chaos. Maybe you're working 60 hours a week with the health industry. Whatever it might be for you, what is one thing
One.
that you miss the most about what life was like before the shutdown of Indiana? Okay? So what
What's
do
the
you
most-
miss the
the
most?
one most thing? I'd
Yeah.
have a hard time answering that.
Yeah, me too. And don't be that person that says like, "Well, here's my top 3." You've got to pick
One.
one. So post in the comments, what do you miss most, Brad?
very
Let's
good.
skip whatever your brain teaser, unless it's funny. Is it funny?
No, it'll be really quick though, because I think
Okay,
it's
well
interesting.
then ask.
You know what's supposed to you know what's supposed to do tonight?
Snow.
Like
a lot
like
of
4 to
snow.
6 inches.
Like more than
And
it's
they're
snowed
actually-
all winter.
And there are actually people who are excited about that, which
I know, Trevor, our
you and I have
producer
you and
is.
I have issues. But anyway, do you know what the latest snowfall that I could find in Indiana was?
Like as far as into the
In
season
the season.
in Indiana,
In Indiana.
May 26th.
June 2nd, 1910.
Really?
Had a trace of snow.
So
June,
I was like 6 days off, and it was in June.
June 2nd, 1910.
How
I
much
just thought
snow
that
did
was
they
interesting. I said a trace.
A trace. What's a
You
trace?
never listen to me, Jordan.
No, but what's a trace?
It just means it covered the ground a little bit.
Okay, I don't think that's a word. Have
Yeah.
you seen The Princess Bride?
Yes.
I don't think that
it
word means what you
think
think it
does.
means.
Yes.
So what do you
What-
miss most?
I have to think about it. You go.
So
I think I know.
okay, well then go.
Barb and I like to eat out. I really
Shocker.
I know. I really miss going to a restaurant and sitting down and eating.
You know, I was thinking
It's
about
ho-
that the other day.
It's honestly how and we do that before this show too.
I know it's one of my
It-
favorite things.
It's because it's not so much the food. I mean, I do enjoy the food, but it's the socialization.
Exactly.
You know, like Barb and I can go out and we can just kind of relax and just sit down and eat. And
Absolutely.
she doesn't care for it. She could
but
care
it's one
less.
of your favorite things.
But it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I
think that's
agree
it.
with that. But that's not my favorite thing that I miss. Honestly, and this isn't just because of I'll save that one for I'll save the church answer for later.
Okay.
What I miss most is going to the grocery store and not just feeling the sense of chaos. Like it's like there's chaos in the air. Like when we went to Aldi yesterday
Yeah.
or a few days ago,
Huh?
they've got you lined up outside. They're washing
Yeah.
every cart. They've got the cart. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's chaos in the air.
I went to Harbor Freight Tools yesterday, or
Really?
2 days ago, and I just walked in and started shopping, and I didn't pick up a cart. And you've got to have a cart.
Oh, so
to
you
keep-
made a mistake.
So I made a mistake. So I got
You made a mistake.
chastised.
So
it's
Susan
all good.
Key says going to the movies is the one thing she misses.
Oh yeah, Barb would say
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. Brad and Barb used to go to a movie like once every 2 weeks.
Oh,
or
yeah.
at least,
Yeah, probably
That
that.
was like your date night.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Well, let's
So,
get started.
well, hey, welcome everybody to Generationally Speaking. We are so glad that you have joined us tonight. We're glad to be back.
Yeah, it's
Honestly,
been good.
and it's been good. So my name is Brad Maddox. I am the lead pastor here at Crossbridge. This is my sidekick, Mr. Jordan Chitwood, who is the young adults pastor, and we are looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, it's just good. I was talking to the young adults this week that it felt like I got back into a routine. It's not the same routine that it was a month ago,
Right.
but I've started to figure out my schedule now. I've been getting up at a set time and then going to bed a little bit in a more normal time, unless I'm playing video games with Trevor. And so it's good to be back. But tonight, what we are going to do is we're going to kick off a series. It's going to be a few weeks long. It's going to be called Finding Your Way Back to God. And what we want to look at tonight are a few things, okay? First, maybe you're just tuning in, you stumbled upon this stream, and you have no relationship with God whatsoever. Never wanted one, never did, but
Right.
you like Brad for some reason, okay?
And who wouldn't?
Yeah, you like the 4 hairs on the front of his head, okay?
Which I'm thinking about buzzing.
You're thinking, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. If
man.
it goes on much longer, I'm going to have to cut my own hair.
Can you keep the hair on the sides, but like just buzz like that one dude from Star Trek?
Keep going.
Okay. The second person that might be tuning in is someone that believes in God but hasn't really made a very serious commitment.
Right.
And then the third person might be someone like myself or even some of our other leaders in the church where you would say you have a solid relationship with God, but after COVID-19 hit, it's almost like the time that we've had to spend with God has increased, but the time we've actually spent with God has
Right.
decreased.
And honestly, it's in all areas of our life during this because I think our schedules are so messed up. We're not,
Oh, yeah.
you're working at home. You're just kind of in a mess. You brought that chaos almost into your own house, and your routine is all messed up.
Yeah.
And so we've even noticed that in some of the things we've seen on social media and what have you, is people's routines have just been all over the place.
Exactly.
And we've got to learn how to settle into that and work it to our advantage.
Yeah, so what we're going to be talking about tonight to kick off this series is where do we start? Okay? You want something more, you're craving something more with God. Where do we even begin?
Exactly. So we're going to start with a scripture verse out of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 6 through 7. And here's what it says. It says, I, the Lord, do not change. That is very good to know. So you,
True.
the descendants of Jacob, are not destroyed. Ever since the time of your ancestors, you have turned away from my decrees and have not kept them. Return to me, and I will return to you, says the Lord Almighty. But you ask, how are we to return?
Yeah, when I was looking at that passage today and just meditating, preparing for it, you get this sense of urgency from both sides almost.
That's true.
Okay? You got a sense from the Israelites, which was this was written for. Malachi was the prophet, right?
Yeah.
I believe, okay? And so, and then even from God, like, hey, I don't change. I'm here. I'm constant. I'm present. Why, though, do you keep running away, making the same mistakes?
And it's honestly one of the things we're talking about this Sunday when Bruce and I teach, but we talked about how the Israelites have this on-again, off-again relationship
Exactly,
with God.
yep.
And part of that is you look and you think, well, how, with all the things that God has done in their lives, how do they keep doing this? It's like a pendulum. They're on fire for God. They worship other
Swinging
pagan
back and
gods.
forth.
They're on fire for God. They worship pagan gods.
Yep.
And you think, well, how can they do that? We do it all the time.
All the time. And the language they use in their time period is obviously very different. Okay,
Right.
we don't have golden calves outside of our buildings
Right.
and stuff, but we've got iPhones.
We've got iPhones.
We've got Big Macs.
We've got sporting events.
We got sporting events.
We got
yeah,
there's-
that's our Coliseum.
we
you know?
have kids playing sports.
Exactly.
It's an idol.
It's an idol.
So there's all kinds of idols that we have, and
Yes.
that's not where we're going tonight. But understand that we do the very same thing, and let's just admit it, we're hot and cold sometimes
Absolutely.
with our relationship with God. And
Absolutely.
how do we fix it? How do we become more consistent?
Yeah.
And this is not something that we want to say, hey, you need, let's not beat up on ourselves because of this. It's just natural that we have seasons of desert and we have seasons that everything is great.
Yeah, and so I'm just admitting I was and still am battling that season of the desert,
Right.
okay, where it's hard to start fresh.
Yeah.
And so, Brad, I just wanted to wrestle with this question. So how do we get back on our feet? Okay?
Yeah.
Where do we start? What next steps should we take if we are craving God back in our life? How do we do that?
And I think, especially in this time, and if you look at all the stats and the things that I've been reading about other churches, I mean, church attendance is going through the roof right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
As far and we've noticed that even with people watching our streams and some
Yeah.
of the things that we're doing, they're looking for answers in this time.
Yep.
They are looking for, hey, I know that life is messed up, so where do I go? And one of the natural places to come is where's God in this? And and here's the thing I think I'm so excited about is I think people are craving a real, honest relationship with God. Not the stuff of, hey, I'm just a consumer. I'm just going to check it off the list. I want to know if God really exists. I want to know if He's there for me.
Yep.
And can I experience that kind of love in our lives? So I think that's what's exciting about it. And I think it starts basically with just acknowledging that.
Yep.
That I'm hungry
Yep.
for something.
Yep.
And the Scripture always says that God has put eternity into our hearts. That there's a God-sized hole in us that only He can fill.
Yes.
And now we're saying, everything else has been taken away that we've been trying to fill that hole up with. Now we really see that we're empty.
Yep. And so you are sitting there and you're like, I've acknowledged it. I get that. I'm here. I want something more. What do I do next? Okay. The best way to grow any relationship, whether it's a dating relationship, a family relationship, a godly relationship, you've got to get to know the person you're trying to build a relationship with.
Right.
You've got to spend time with them.
Right.
And that answer honestly intimidates people. You need to spend time alone with God.
Yeah.
Why does that intimidate people?
And how, one is because they don't know how.
Exactly.
And then they see other people, maybe it's some televangelist or somebody else, and I get intimidated by this. You watch somebody pray and you think, oh my gosh, I could never pray like that.
Yeah.
I
Long, wordy prayers,
and all this stuff, and
boisterous voices.
And they say words that you don't even understand, and
it's like what Brad does with me half the time. He says pendulum earlier.
Yeah,
if he didn't have the hand movement, I would have been lost.
I wouldn't have known what it was. But it's one of those things, and you think, well, that's how I got to pray. So you're being fake, and all God wants you to do is just talk to Him.
Exactly.
And I've struggled with that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And to the point of, I was just actually a day or so ago, I can remember just saying, God, we're just going to walk and talk. And I'm just going to tell you, this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And that's where it's very simple.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a special way to do this.
Yeah. So what we want to challenge you to do, and this is something that I actually started today, day 1 of quarantine, fresh start, is we want to challenge you all to spend 5 minutes a day with God. Okay. And if you already do 5 minutes, add 5 minutes. All right. So if you have 5, 10, 15, whatever it looks like for you, challenge yourself to start fresh today. Maybe you're like, well, I'm already counted out for the day. Okay. Then start tomorrow. Okay. And what that can look like is something as simple as this. If you love reading, okay, pull out the Bible and start in Genesis chapter 1. Okay. And then read Genesis chapter 1. Then journal the question, what is one thing that you are grateful God created? Okay? That's your first day. Genesis 1, what is one thing you're grateful God created?
And then day 2, you start in Leviticus.
Yep.
No.
I just said yep without no. You start in Revelation and you say, no. Okay? And then day 2, you're going to private message us, say, okay, I finished day 1. What's the next challenge? All right? Maybe you hate reading because people might say, I hate reading the Bible.
Right.
That's okay. All right? I am personally one of those people that loves to read the Bible. Marissa, my wife, does not. And so she won't just open up the Bible and read a whole page at a time.
Right.
Okay? So what I've encouraged her to do is she'll take one verse, okay? And because she loves to create things with art, she will take that verse and create something out of it.
Right.
And that's her time alone with God.
Yeah. And if you have not downloaded the YouVersion Bible app, man, you need to go on and do that. And one of the things that I would encourage you to do is you can change different versions, things like that. Stay in the NIV or the NLT, and And even when you open up that app, there's even one verse that they'll give you every day.
Yes,
And
and
they've been-
that's perfect.
And that's perfect. And there's even a little graphic down that you can share it or what have you. But just take that one verse, read that, and just kind of meditate. And just, what does that mean to me?
yeah,
How does that apply to me?
take that verse.
And some days are going to be more powerful than others.
True. Some days you're going to be like,
That means absolutely nothing to me.
exactly.
And that's okay.
Yep. And so the goal with Time Alone with God is to connect with God on a level that He's wired you to connect in. Honestly, like using your gifts. I love to write and read, so that's how I connect most with God. Marissa loves to create. I can't draw to save my life. I can't stay in the lines, okay? Brad loves to eat, so every single time that he goes to McDonald's, it's Time Alone with God. No,
I
but-
went to McDonald's today, by the way, but that's another story.
wow. So we want to challenge you. Where do you start? How do you find your way back to God? Tomorrow, what I am doing is I'm going to be waking up at 9 o'clock. You might be like, wow, how do you wake up that late? Or, gosh, I'm not waking up that early. Whatever time it is for you, I want to encourage you to set your alarm 5 minutes before you have to wake up. And then I want you to go to the YouVersion Bible app and take the verse of the day and spend 5 minutes time alone with God on that one verse.
Sure.
Okay? That's the challenge. Join me in it. We're going to start tomorrow. But then we've got one other challenge that we want to talk about. Do you want to talk about what we're doing on April 20th?
Yeah, April 20th. One of our elders is starting a brand new thing with some other people here, and they're going to do a Bible study basically on Monday, starting on Monday night.
Yep.
And you can join. All the information is on our website. We'll also post it to social media, but you can join a bunch of people as they start a brand new. It sounds like it's going to be really good. I have no idea what it's called, but I read.
Well, it's all on our website. We
It
start
is.
in, what, 4 days?
I-
4 days.
I actually read it, and I thought, oh, that's going to be a good one.
And then you forgot.
And then I forgot what it actually said. But
Everybody in chat, put on your shocked face, your favorite emoji.
Yeah, there you go. So, but I think that's another great. And the thing is you're with a group of people studying that.
Exactly.
Another thing that some guys in my small group have been doing is on the YouVersion Bible app. There are also I don't want to call them devotionals. They're study plans.
different- yeah.
Study plans.
Yep.
And I'll pick out a plan and I'll invite these 5 guys. And what you do is really cool. Is that you read the devotional, you read the scriptures to it, and then there's a comment section that only goes to those people.
Yep.
And so sometimes we joke with each other on it, but other times it's some deep, serious stuff, and it's been great. And it kind of gives you an accountability that some people know where you are, that you can be a little more vulnerable if you want to, and you're journeying together. But it also, because you know other people are counting on you,
Exactly.
you can-
Accountability.
accountability, you start, and I tell you, it's been great. And we've got a lot of people, honestly, doing those kind of plans.
Yeah, our youth group is doing them with
Yeah.
our students. Prayer team's doing them. Or sorry, not prayer team. My mom has like 3 or 4 different teams. Kim,
Right.
our Next Steps pastor, doing them. Okay. So to sum it up, okay, 3 challenges we want to give you. Okay. First one, spend time alone with God 5 minutes a day.
Right.
Okay. And if you already do, add 5 minutes. All right. Time alone with God is just you connecting with God in a way that you connect best. Okay. It can be worship. It can be walking. It can be journaling. It can be reading. It can be drawing. Okay. Second challenge, go on to our crossbridgecommunity.org website, download the YouVersion Bible app, and then sign up for that plan that starts this Monday in 4 days. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Third challenge for those that are really craving next steps, text 1 or 2 of your friends, get on the YouVersion Bible app, and start a plan together. All right? These plans literally take 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But the conversations are so good. There's thousands of them
Yes.
and opportunities to connect.
Yeah, it's so good. And we go back to what we ask is this thing is people are craving some answers. They're
Yep.
looking for how do I navigate this time that we are in, and they're looking for spiritual answers.
Yep.
And we believe that this is it. And so the question we had is how are we to return? And I think that's the perfect place to start is incremental starts of how am I going to be alone with God?
Yep.
Alone time with God.
Yep, because it's so safe to return to a person or a being that doesn't change.
Yes.
That's constant.
He's always there.
Yeah, so hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope that this kicked off a fire inside of you, gave you a few practical next steps for you to challenge yourself to grow in your relationship with God. We're going to be taking a little bit further next week for week number 2 of Far From God, How Do I Get Closer, okay? This Sunday, join Brad and Bruce. They're
Yep.
going to be live streaming the service. 9 o'clock and 10:30.
on Facebook.
If it works well. Last week we tried to do that for Easter. It didn't work very well. So 9 o'clock and 10:30 on Facebook. And on YouTube, if you like to watch, we will only be live streaming at 10:30.
And I got to tell
Okay.
you, Bruce crushed it. We're doing
Really?
team teaching in this. It's called Rise
Did he
Up.
really?
Yeah, it's called
Good.
Rise Up. And I tell
Proud
you,
of him.
yeah, I just sat there and thought, oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. So, yeah, you don't want to miss Sunday.
Yes. Last thing. Tomorrow night, Friday, our youth families are going to be competing in something called Olympiad. If you're not sure what it is, it's like the Olympics, only much more qualifications. Only
If
much
you're-
more qualifications are needed. So join us at what time, Trevor? 7:30
7:30.
here on Facebook.
And one of the questions we asked, what you're missing, and someone said sports. This is it.
This
You
is
can,
it.
You can tune in and watch us.
tomorrow night. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
See you, everybody.
Have a great rest of your
Thanks
night.
for joining us.